Y'all, it is Sunday afternoon and I was just outside looking at the twine vine, showing my husband a wasp's nest that needs to not be there. And the little queen, there's a little queen out there laying eggs on the twine vine, y'all, on the twine vine. So even though monarchs don't commonly lay eggs on twine vine, queens will. So I followed her around. I'm like the queen stalker, like following her around like some little groupie and then collecting the eggs. So I did get 2 eggs from the twine vine and I set them up in incubators. I'll show you in a minute. But that was so fun, so fun. I wanted to show you how fabulously entangled my little flower nectar garden area has become. This used to be all pink pentas, which it still kind of is, but now I've got some of these other flowers growing in the mix, like Rudbeckia, Tithonia, and my viewer that told me I needed to get the Cutleaf Coneflower going in my garden, well, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I am in love. Look at this beautiful flower. Look at how it's like, I just love it. Just look. It's incredible. And look at all these little babies that are going to be blooming. Like, I'm going to have this many of that popping up right here. It's incredible. They do love wet, moist settings. And this is not in my wetland garden. I do have this in a pot. I have it in a pot, Let me show you. Here is the pot it is in. But then it's sitting, I half buried one of these pots in the ground so it's not so noticeable. And then I put a big glass bowl that I got at a thrift store for 99 cents in there. So it holds water and it keeps the Cutleaf Coneflower very happy and moist, even though it's not in my wetland garden. And as you can see, it is truly very happy. The next thing I want to show you is the mystery is truly solved on one of my wetland garden plants. It has bloomed, and even funnier is, well, I guess I gave it away in my last video, but if you didn't see my last video, you wouldn't know. I saw the plant at Sweet Bay Nursery and I knew who it was. Before the bloom finally opened, I knew who it was. And then I literally came home and yesterday afternoon, the blooms were opening. So how funny is that? Let me go do the big reveal of who is the mystery plant. You guys, this is the narrowleaf sunflower, and it is going to be glorious in my garden. Look, do you see all the buds? It's right here in my wetland garden. It loves a warm, moist setting. Look at all these buds. Can you imagine what this is going to look like when these are all blooming? Like this one right here in the middle of my garden. And this is a tall plant, you guys. It gets 5 to 8 feet tall. And this top bloom right here is reaching about 5 feet right now. So it could possibly get even taller. And whoop. And oh, Ace trash can. You know what that means. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment and say hello. Those of you that are new to my channel, I have the Ace trash cans in the background all the time. And so it's just become a funny little thing to, when you see the red trash can, to remind you to tap the like button. Now let's go inside and see some adorable, adorable, adorable caterpillars. Okay, you guys, are you ready for some caterpillar cuteness? Because we got it. These are the babies that I brought in several videos ago. Look how big they are. One of them's already at the top of the Lepidarium J hanging. And look at this guy here. Look how slow he's moving. Oh, poop. Wasn't that great? He should be doing a big purge soon. Because he is the definition of a caterpillar who is ready to pupate. Look how big he is. And we got this little guy hanging out back here. He's not quite as big as the other ones. And then this little guy. Look at the feet. Look at the feet with the little dots on them. Aren't they so cute? And that's just the eastern black swallowtails, guys. These are all eastern black swallowtail caterpillars. Because there's more. Look who's right here. Giant swallowtail caterpillar on a wild lime cutting. Alright, turned off the fan. Isn't that better? Isn't that better? I should have turned off the fan from the beginning, but I'm sorry. Here's the other baby. This one is definitely younger. And then right here, we have, I think maybe just one monarch and my queens, hanging out with the frass and the aphids. These cuttings are actually Asclepias incarnata, swamp milkweed, that I grew from seed. So this little queen right here, these leaves are so fresh. They have not been touched by a butterfly. They are OE spore free. Look how cute she is. And there's a little monarch. There's another little queen. And there's a little monarch right there. I know there's more than these guys. I think there's another little queen. Yep, right back there. So I'm going to see how they do. I do not have enough of these fresh young leaves to feed them until adulthood. But, well, let's have a chat about that. You know, I was using Twine Vine to feed my caterpillars. And the first few caterpillars did great, beautiful butterflies. And then after that, not so much. And then I started questioning my use of the Twine Vine. What I think it might have been was, in the beginning I was using Twine Vine that I had grown from cuttings in pots over in my grow area. Then I started taking cuttings from my Twine Vine that's growing along the fence. That is much older. And not only that, my neighbor has, on the other side of me, has yard people, and they spray. And so if there was a breeze or something, some of that spray could get on my Twine Vine, which is growing on that fence. So I think in the future, when using Twine Vine, I'm going to make sure that I either super wash and soak the cuttings and take them from the inside of the fence, or I'm just going to keep growing new and use my potted cuttings. So that's my update on Twine Vine. And, well, before we finish that thought, we have to stop and say hello to this gorgeous monarch, enjoying Tithonia. I've been chatting with a friend of mine who lives down in the Keys. Hello, you know who you are. And she's been using giant milkweed leaves. Now I have giant milkweed in my garden, and I used to use giant milkweed leaves and everything was fine. But then all of a sudden, I ran out and I got some giant milkweed leaves from a friend, and I had the worst cases of OE I had ever had. And so my brain immediately went to, it was the giant milkweed. But it wasn't the giant milkweed in general. Now that I've had the time to think back and think about it, it was the giant milkweed that came from another plant that had been in existence for a long time, regularly gets covered with butterflies, and could very easily have a huge buildup of OE spores. So I might try using my own homegrown giant milkweed that doesn't see as much action as that giant milkweed did, and of course wash it before I use it to feed them. So I might try bringing that food source in again also, because, you know, it's just fun to try new things. Always for the sake of raising healthy caterpillars. That's what it's all about. So that giant milkweed that I bought at Sweet Bay, and I was showing it to you in the video, its flowers are white. They're not purple. Like, they looked white close, but I thought, well, when they open, they'll be purple. No, they're solid white. They're gorgeous. Let me go show you. Look at this flower. No purple. No purple. Here's another one. And look at this cluster. And I feel like they're in clusters too. Like my other milkweed, giant milkweed, it's just like one bloom, but this is going to be a cluster. So I don't know. Something new to me. But I'm so glad I decided to buy this. I almost didn't, because I thought, I don't need another one. But look at it, and it's huge. Look at how thick the stem is. So, oh my goodness, I'm so happy that I made the decision to buy this. So my other current one is not currently blooming, but you can see there's a bud right there, and usually that's what they'll do. They'll just have a bud right there. So that's wild. Now let's get back to the Lepidarium, because I have more to show you. There's more cuteness to be seen. Look who I have here. A little baby sulfur caterpillar. And hopefully it's going to thrive in here. I have it on a privet senna. It's in a pot. It's one that I grew from seed. I love that I'm using plants that I grew from seed to feed caterpillars. Isn't that fabulous? And something new I added over here in the corner is a little tower. It's really a basket. And I put all of my swallowtail chrysalides in here that have yet to eclose. There's one in there. See his little top of his head? So I have them clipped in here so they're all together. This is really, really making my life easier to have all of my caterpillars in my one giant lepidarium. I love it for the school year, the work year. In the summer, I'll probably move back to having them out in the butterfly haven. But for now, this is what I need to keep my life sane. There's the one I was talking about that's already J hanging, and there's some chrysalides up there too. I believe I've shown you those before. So it's all working out super, super well. And then can you see who we have peeking out? Right? A little Gulf fritillary. I raised this one from an egg.